Hello and a very warm welcome to episode 61 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast, a podcast about all things Hastings United. I'm your host Chris Laverick, and on the show today we've got first team coach John MEENEY. John MEENEY talks his coaching past, working with Gary Elphick again, and what it takes to progress up the leagues. No Tim's takes this week as our excellent women's team continue to be messed about, so fingers crossed for this weekend. And then over to the SBTS fan roundtable. Not only are we running down an excellent week yet again for the U's, we also have the trial of James Brian Hull Esquire as he answers to the charges of crimes against humanity. Enjoy, Hastings fans. And now over to John MEENEY. I mean, how's the camp in general? I mean, before I start the interview and all that, how is everyone in general? Are they all buzzing or?
Yeah, no, really, really good. Look, at the end of the day, 8 games to go. If you can't enjoy this journey, you know, it's why we're all involved in football in the first place. It doesn't matter if you're a coach, a manager, players, fans, the board. At the end of the day, we're in a fantastic position. And if you can't enjoy it, you know, there's no pressure. You know, at the end of the day, it's about us enjoying this moment that we find ourselves in, and what will be, will be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It gives me great pleasure to have John MEENEY on, first team coach. He certainly has come in and sprinkled the magic dust into this team, because we've been on an absolute cracking run ever since John's come in. I'm sure he wouldn't say it was all down to him, but obviously everyone behind the scenes is doing such a great job. And obviously the top man, Gary, as well. But so, John, I just wanted to go into just a little bit about your previous. Actually, that sounds like you committed some sort of crime. No, we won't do that way.
I'm a good man. I like to think I'm a good man. There's no crimes on me.
But just looking back, quite interesting actually. That I was looking at you. You were involved with the Brighton Youth Academy when you were playing. You were at that level. Yeah. Yeah. And you kind of almost transitioned straight into coaching. When did you kind of decide that sort of scouting coaching was your thing?
Yeah, no, like I say, I was at Brighton for like nine years. And at the end of the day, I wasn't good enough to be a professional football player. But what Brighton did give me was an insight into coaching, because I was always thinking within the sessions, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And I played in numerous positions and never really cemented one specialist position, and I think that helped me to see the game and to read the game. So it's like, I would say once I got released, I started doing my badges straight away. Brighton helped out with that. I went to Chichester College, and they really helped me out with that, and that gave me a real insight to what coaching was like, and I loved it. And I'll be honest, I made a decision about 20 years old to complete sort of like stop playing football competitively.
Yeah.
And that's when I become first team coach at Worthing. Always grateful to Chris White for giving me like my first sort of like real competitive opportunity in coaching in senior football. So yeah, that's when I officially stopped playing football competitively and embarked on this coaching journey.
Wow. Well, what I was going to ask you just before then, because I've got a little my spies tell me that you actually were a sort of talent scout in Finland. Is that it? Yeah, what was that about?
Yeah, that's correct. That came from some Brighton contacts. It's important that you maintain good connections in the game, but also in life. Don't burn any bridges. And Brighton have helped me out immensely. And yeah, through the contacts of the club, I actually went out there for a coaching trip. This was, I believe, actually like 2 years before I become manager at Worthing with Gary. And yeah, I went over there for like a coaching trip for about 10 days.
Yeah. Really
enjoyed it, and got just joking about with some of the club's representatives that I was working with over there at Arble, sort of AIF Turku, who were linked to TPS. And they said there was a role that was funded by the Finnish FA, where what they do is different regions, they would have like talent identification coaches to work within their infrastructure. And yeah, joking about one night after coaching, they said, would I be interested? And then the rest is history. I think I was at a little bit of a loose end as well, where I needed to grow up off the pitch a little bit as well. Yeah. And I was thinking, I might as well do it now. I've got no things like keeping me in the UK. You know, I was living at home still. I didn't have a missus. I wasn't really having like a full-time job somewhere. I was doing bits and pieces, non-league football and working at the local leisure centre. So I'm a bit of a risk taker. So I thought I'd take the gamble. Worst case, I go, do you know what? Hands up, it didn't work out. But again, it gave me a good sort of played a massive part in what I was doing.
Yeah, I mean, do you keep any links? Do you keep in contact with any of the chaps over there?
Yeah, no, I do. It was actually quite funny. The day that I was confirmed of coming in at Hastings, I had a Finnish Premier League club contact me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just for talks. But I just thought, you know, I'm getting married in a couple of months' time. I'm going back to Brighton to work within their academy also. And I wanted to be true to my word. You know, at the end of the day, you can put your eggs in one basket with first team football in the professional game. I just wanted to get back on the grass, have some ownership at Hastings, which Gary and the staff give me to do what I love doing, coaching. And Brighton, obviously, it's the third time I've been back at Brighton. And I think if I'd said no, not to go back and work in their academy this time, I don't think they'd ever have me back.
So yeah, moving on from there. So you spent that time obviously in Finland. So that, how did that opportunity open up for you at Worthing with Gary? I mean, how did this?
Yeah, so obviously I've been caretaker manager at Worthing, like when Chris White moved on, and then also when Lee Brace moved on, and I started obviously the relationship with Adam Hinshelwood, like first team coach, assistant to Adam, and then I was actually visiting Finland a year after I sort of like left, and I remember finishing a training session early, and I had a missed call on my phone, and what happened is Adam Hinshelwood had accepted the under-18 coach's role at Brighton. And Gary was coming in as a player. And I'll be honest, I felt as if I deserved an opportunity, you know, like I'm a coach, but I thought I knew the club really well. I knew the infrastructure. I knew the style of play that would suit the players. And it would be like a bit of an easier transition instead of getting someone else just like new in. And I remember having phone calls backwards and forwards, meeting Gary, speaking to me on the phone, FaceTime, speaking to the club. And we just come to the decision that actually, do you know what? Gary's a leader of men. I'm young and naive, but I could look after all the coaching and have that easy transition of the players knew me, and Gary could come in and play, but be that sort of like that game manager. I lead from the sidelines. He leads on the pitch. But also I could learn from Gary, and maybe Gary could learn from me if he had a little bit of one eye on being a coach. And that's just how our relationship blossomed, if you like.
Well, yeah, because I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but you went up via the playoffs, didn't you?
Yeah, we went up through the playoffs. Yeah,
and you got to the Sussex Cup final, didn't you?
Sussex Senior Cup final, yeah, and like you say, promoted and Sussex Senior Cup final the first year. Very lucky.
So it was a cracking season. I mean, obviously, there's a few faces from the team at Hastings. Obviously, Ben Pope, Lloyd Dawes. Who else? I'm trying to remember now. Bloody hell. Obviously, Gary. Yeah. So can't forget him. Bloody hell. Yeah. But you know, so quite a familiar feel to this. I mean, is there any similarities you feel?
Yeah, I feel it. I can't lie. At the end of the day, we're 8 games to go, and I've got the same feeling. And do you know why? First and foremost, good club, good fan base, and that's exactly the same as Worthing. That's why they're doing so well. Total respect there. But do you know what it is? It's the honesty of the group. For me, I look at those individuals. You know, you've got senior pros in there, you've got young players within that change room, but they're just a good, honest group. The way that they train, the way that they play, the way that they behave, the way they look after themselves, and the togetherness. And I had that feeling at Worthing. And for me, they're fundamentals. They are key fundamentals in any winning team, any winning group of players. And that's why I want them to succeed so much. The club, the players, this group of players, they deserve to go forwards. And that's every single training session, every single game. That's what I just keep relaying to the players. You know, nothing's a given, but if there is a justice in the world, hopefully we can go and get it done.
Third time's the charm, I think. Getting back to so you were at Worthing. you got promoted. Now, now I think to me, did you then took a role at?
No, I went to Eastbourne Borough. So obviously Gary and I went our separate ways. You know, and we often laugh about it now. We learned some valuable lessons. In hindsight, we should have stayed together. But now we feel as if we've got our second chance together to do things right. Yes, we were successful at Worthing. There was even a lot of things that we did that goes unnoticed. You know, we were a good duo together. But I think what it's allowed us to do is learn from valuable lessons the way that it ended to make sure we put it right at Hastings, but for a little bit longer. But yeah, after I did leave Worthing, I went to Eastbourne Borough. I went for the Bognor job. I went for the Bognor job. I went and met Jack Pearce, had a cup of coffee and presented to him. And actually, I thought I had a good chance of getting it. To be fair, forget my age. I thought I had a good chance of getting it, and it didn't happen. And then, you know what? Again, forever grateful. Good friend of mine, Jamie Hell. He said, "Come to Eastbourne. Come be my first team coach at Eastbourne." So it was nice because I didn't have the pressures of being manager. And in hindsight, it was the best thing I didn't go to Bognor for numerous reasons. But you know, when you're in the game and you got a feel for it, you want to get back on the next horse, and you also want to prove that you can manage no matter what your age. I went to Eastbourne, and Jamie Howe, he didn't need to take me over there, but we said, let's try and bring together what Jamie did at Bognor, what we did at Worthing, and let's try and make that work at Eastbourne Borough. And again, forever grateful.
Yeah. So you went on from there. Why did you take up the Horsham post? What happened there?
If I'm honest, I think there was a little bit of a transitional period at Eastbourne Borough, and Jamie was full time there. So until Jamie went full time at the Christmas when we were together, I was helping out with the academy at Eastbourne Borough because I've always had a keen eye on the youth. Yeah, and Jamie trusted me, and when he transitioned to becoming full time at the club, again, at the end of the day, you can't have, unless you have got the resources, you can't have 2-3 full-time staff, even at that level. So what it was, I think they were doing a bit of number tweaking behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, it made sense for me to move on, because you still have, like, Ian St. Pember was there, Danny Blore was there, Dean Lightwood was there, and Jamie was there, and Jamie's hands-on with the coaching as well. So it made sense. You know, we had an honest conversation. And Horsham, you know, I've always wanted to work with Dom De Paolo. And if I'm honest, again, we didn't work together for a long time because Brighton commitments came in. But obviously, it was a lovely spell when I was there, and it was nice to see Horsham go on and complete their promotion push that season. And like I say, they deserve all the plaudits for that.
Well, wherever you go, you seem to go and get people promoted. So it's so, man. I mean, we got then also, I didn't know this, but I mean, you went obviously to Crawley. I mean, what was that like? Obviously, league club.
Brilliant. It was 1 year. You know, like, at the end of the day, I think it sounds as if I hop around a little bit, but it's anything but that. You know, I'm about, if opportunities come and it's the right for you as a person and as a coach, it's exactly the same, you know. And I'm proud of my journey because it started there, being released by Brighton after 9 years, and it went like that through the football pyramid. And the only levels I haven't coached at is League One, Championship, and the Premier League. And I'm very proud of my journey because at the end of the day, I'm a no one regarding a player, and I've had to work my arse off to be the best coach, the best adaptable coach that I can be for whatever my target audience is. And going through the football pyramid has allowed me to do that. Obviously, I want to...
John, how do you tweak that, actually? Out of interest, how do you tweak your coaching style? Is there anything that you'll sort of focus on more, to say sort of our level, this step compared to... how would you tweak it?
Yeah, I think like anything for me is we all have our playing philosophy and our coaching philosophy, but it's about players. It's about recognising what the strengths of the players are, what the strengths are of the team are, and adapting your way. Unfortunately, in the modern day now, we get bogged down by perception. We can't be seen to be doing this because it might get that reaction. At the end of the day, I was brought in, for example, to Hastings to win games of football. I was coming in to Hastings with Gary, Brownie, Ben, Bobby, Pete, etc., into a very good squad of players where Aggie had worked really, really well for the last 2 years and put the foundations in. However, this year, it was about coming in, winning games of football, and it quite easily, how much change do you need to make? We had to make subtle changes, understand what the players and the squad were doing well, but where we can maybe add that extra percent. So it's like any club you go into, you know, Rome wasn't built overnight. You need the talent ID. At the end of the day, you need to talent ID, see what tools you've got to go to work with, what tools you need to add, and then go to work. And for me, as a coach, I'm not a manager, I'm a coach. I feel one of my main qualities is I can connect with people and players, and I can adapt to what they need, not what I know and want to deliver, what they need. And that's the biggest thing. And I like to think that we're doing that at Hastings at this moment in time, because it's not about me. It's not me implementing the Man City style. It's not me implementing the Burnley style. It's not me implementing the Barcelona Leeds style. It's about what is the Hastings identity. Now let's get the best out of this group of players and see where it can take us.
Yeah, no, good, great answer, John. In terms of coaching, what was it like? Actually, what was it like coaching league players? I mean, is there a massive difference? I mean, I suppose you might be getting a few more egos, but like other than that, I mean, full time, because obviously at this level, not everyone's full time. We've got other commitments. I mean, what was that like? Time,
like the biggest thing when you're full time, you get contact time with the players. You get plenty of time to work with them on the pitch coaching, off the pitch coaching, working with them individually, positional specific as a team, and you can have that gradual process during the week, leading to the game on the Saturday, when really nothing really should be alien. If you've done your work, you can watch the opposition regarding doing the analysis. So you have a real good indicator of what you're coming up against and what you need to do offensively and defensively, set pieces and on transition. But no, for me, as you go through the levels, obviously the time's the key. But the way that I look at it is the mentality. You know, good mentality. Players athletic, very athletic, and that's helped with obviously the resources that the clubs have. But I think the biggest thing, like anything, the higher up you go, is about consistency. Consistency is key. You got to bring it day in, day out, game. If you are and be what you are, you know, do what you repeatedly do. And if you do that more consistently and be your best version, then ultimately you stay at a level. Yeah. And that's what I always say, because we all know, even within the Hastings ranks, the lower leagues, we always see players that, you know what, have good technical ability. They may have a good physical profile, and you always go, oh yeah, so-and-so, good player. But why is he never gone on? Yeah. And I think, look, players that are willing to have that commitment, that sacrifice, that attitude, the mentality, that character to match their ability are the ones that actually do kick on. Yeah. And that's what I saw day in, day out during my time at Crawley. And like anything, I worked under two completely different managers, one Italian and one a British manager. Yeah. So for me, I was adapting to what they wanted, their sort of like their DNA, as they called it, within the club. But some were out of favour with with Gabby, the Italian. Others come into favour. So you need a little bit of timing, a little bit of obviously luck. You know, things change very quickly in football, and sometimes you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time or the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, talking about being in the right place at the right time, linking back up with Gary, how did that come about?
It's funny, I was actually in talks with, so I was 18 months out of contract. You know, obviously we had COVID, and I didn't have a club from Crawley. So some real challenging moments personally. And then I was always obviously good friends with Aggie, talking to Aggie, and we're trying to maybe like work something, because I was doing a lot of individual player development work locally with pro players and non-league players, academy players during my time. So we was always talking, and then bosh, he went. Nothing ever really materialised. Gary was straight on the phone. He went, look, they want to make me manager. I said, bloody brilliant, Gaz. Now I always used to say to Gaz, you'll have one more stint. You'll have one more stint, Gaz. He's like, no. I'm enjoying my playing. And I said, go on, have one more, when we was always talking.
Yeah.
And ultimately he went, I'm only going to do it if you come in.
Yeah.
And I went, where do I sign? Because I also said, I've done my due diligence. I don't go into things blind. It's not about levels for me. It's about working at the right club with the right people. It's got to be the right environment. And I wouldn't have joined any other club in this league, bar Hastings, because I know how professional it is. I know where it could go, but I knew what it stood for, the infrastructure regarding the youth setup, you know, how the makeup of the board is, you know, the fan base, all of that. It's the whole package for me. So I was like, yeah, where do I sign? And then boom, we were together on the Wednesday, I think November the 11th, something like that.
Yeah, blimey, yeah. Seems so long ago now. I mean, you've obviously come in running. I mean, what's it like working with the other coaches? I mean, particularly that gentleman called Peter Heritage. I mean, what's it like dealing with him on a weekly basis? Brilliant.
You know, obviously everyone warned me about his jokes. You know, but he's just a good egg. He's just a good man, you know, and you have to respect what he's done in the game. He's a character. And you know what? One thing you never want to lose in football is characters. You know, I know society changes, etc., but you need good characters. And he cares. He live and breathes it, you know, and I'd rather have someone like that around than someone that just has no emotion. And he wants to be around it. And you know what? He comes up with some little golden nuggets. So even when I'm out there delivering the sessions, and I'm very hands-on, he will come up with a little golden nugget, you know, and a real simple golden nugget that just captures everyone's imagination. And he needs to be embraced just like the rest of the staff, because, yeah, as much as I'm on the front foot, you know, hands-on, that ownership on the training pitch, you know, we got a great multidisciplinary team, you know, like Andrew Brown. Everyone, I love Brownie. You know, he's analytical, his attention to detail, the conversations we have. He's a very good young coach, and I'll be a fool not to embrace him because I can't do it all. You know, Gary overviews everything. You know, that's a manager, and that's one thing that's become very apparent is the way Gary's transitioned to being a manager. I was brought in to coach how we attack, how we defend, but with the support, you know, and the team effort of Brownie, you know, Bobby with the strength and conditioning, Ben with obviously the goalkeepers, Pete as well. It's a real collective sort of like pull in what we're doing. And like I say, it's been an absolute honour to work with this multidisciplinary team, management team.
Yeah. I mean, just quickly with Pete, have you ever done like a reenactment of Leeds West Ham, you know, on the pitch at all ever? Because I know you're a Leeds fan, aren't you?
Yeah, massive Leeds fan. Just put it this way: we played them back to back, didn't we? FA Cup and the Premier League. Yeah. And I said to him, "Look, you can have. I love the FA Cup, but I said you can have the FA Cup Mars bar. When we beat you in the league, I like a white Milky Bar chocolate." So yeah, that's as far as it's obviously gone. But there's good banter between us both.
No, that's good. It's great stuff. Well, I mean, where can this group of players take us? I mean, what do you think we need, if anything?
Yeah.
What let's be confident. At the next level, when we're up at the next level, where do you think to stabilise in the league above? Is there anything you think needs tweaking, or anything needs addition? Any addition?
You know, I think, like I say, first and foremost, it's one of those that you're getting to know me, Chris. Look, we've got 8 games. You know, I can't stress, as much as we're in a good place and the feeling's good, and the way that we're playing, especially Saturday, I was very, very happy with us Saturday. You know, I'd pay to watch that myself, especially the opening 45.
Yeah, good, very aggressive in attack and defence.
Yeah, I thought our interplay offensively, like you say, there was a purpose to everything we were doing. You know, the way that we mixed our play up, which was pleasing, and obviously the clean sheet. So first and foremost, it's making sure we do take care of these 8 games, and the way that we attack these 8 games is no further than Cray Valley on Saturday. But no, like with the testament to the group of players, I think it would have to be very cute recruitment next year, no matter what league we're in. There's a core of players here. There's a good blend, as I said, of senior players, You've got players that are sort of like middle ground that have been at the level for a few years and have sort of become more accustomed to it. And you've got the young players coming through that we're also looking to embrace. Okay, and obviously, like, I'll give an example. You've seen what James Hull has done recently. You've seen what Kane Penn's done recently. TC at right fullback, and we've also given opportunities to the likes of Leggy, to Batesy, but we always have at least 5-6 youth products training with us on a Thursday, not to make the numbers up, ultimately because we value the youth section that the good coaches within the structure have been doing, and there's a lot of potential. So as always, it would be cute recruitment no matter what level we're at. And look, there's a plan A and there's a plan B. If we do what we set out to do and get promoted, let's be realists, there's a plan A. If it's playoffs, if we're in this league next year, there's a plan B. Yeah. But ultimately, plan A is to make sure that we're best prepared for Cray Valley on Saturday.
Talking of Cray Valley, John, any injury worries, or are we all fairly...
No, all good. No, the squad's looking all good. Like I say, it's important that I think now we've been quite lucky where it's been Saturday for a sustained period. Yeah. So it's important that we just manage that squad the best we can. I think we've done that really well with the use of the 23s, certain evenings off training to senior members. But it's not ultimately about coaching now. It's about management. Everyone managing themselves the best they can as a staff, as a players, what our program looks like during the week and how we prepare and how we recover for that game on its own merit.
Yeah, great stuff. Just, is there any message you want to send out, John, to the Hughes faithful?
First and foremost, on a personal note, I would just really appreciate, I think, over the last few weeks, I think I'm building a bit more of a rapport, a bit more of a relationship with the fans as they get to know me and see me around more. So I really appreciate their warm welcome and their support of myself, the rest of the management team, but more importantly, obviously, the group of players that go out there game. And hopefully you can see the unity that we all have. You can see the relationship that we all have on and off the pitch. And these next 8 games, we're going to need the fans as much as possible and vice versa. But one thing I do like is when we score, when we keep clean sheets, you see that connection and the celebrations on and off the pitch together. And that's something that we need for these next 8 games, because they travel in their numbers at home. They travel in their numbers away from home. And I always have a little saying, together stronger, because you'll never see a Hastings side in our time go out there that don't give a monkeys. Do you know what I mean? You'll see a team, a group of players that have pride, have passion, but love playing for Hastings. And I think, look, at the end of the day, that can get us over the line.
Great stuff. I'm fired up now, John. I'm fired up by those words, mate. Well, listen, John, absolute pleasure. Thanks for your time. And hey, this one more game. Well, 8 more games to go. One more. It's always the next one. It's always next get on. It's always you have to. Do you know what I mean? Because of course it's the business end of the season. Yeah. We want to get this done as early as we can. But if you look a little bit too far ahead, you lose sight of what you need to do. So it's our job to embrace this feeling, but just be a little bit measured and calculated with it, and let you guys just go with the flow. Yeah, we'll be the emotional wrecks, mate. Don't worry. No. Well, listen, absolute pleasure, John. Thanks, and well, I'll see you at the game. I'll be there at Cray. There'll be lots of us. Yeah. There's a lot of us going, so. We'll be there to cheer you on. Really, I really appreciate it, and I look forward to coming over and seeing you before the game and after the game. Yeah, well, probably before the game's better. After the game, we might be a mess. But you guys are doing a great job. It's just we're just trying to get that message out there. I mean, you're doing a fantastic job. Anyway, take care. Yeah, and thank you for having me. Yeah, cheers, John. See you later. Bye. And now we go over to the SBTS Fan Roundtable. Not only do they round up the week, but they sit in on the trial of the century. Big thanks to Windy, Flat White, Smithy, Nurse Gina, Chief Prosecutor Pettit, Hair Flick Wills, Malcolm, father of Craigstone, but of course, James Brian Hull, and he's a good sport, for making it happen. Right, here we go.
Oh, no, here comes the nurse.
Saying that Nurse Gladys Emmanuel died yesterday, didn't she?
Yeah.
It's tragic. One of my absolute childhood
Fantasies.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, let's not do that. Gina's here. How are you, Gina?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good.
Well, I'm here now. Hello.
Hello, Jamesy.
Right.
Don't worry.
Oh.
You're right, mate.
He's not gone off to the best of stuff.
That's right, mate.
Someone's nervous.
Yeah.
He's quite rightly.
Was that just a phone falling over? That weren't him falling over. Oh, okay.
No, his house fell over, Chris.
We don't want you getting injured, James, mate. Okay, well, it gives me great pleasure to bring this roundtable together. We have the wonderful Leon Pettit, Andy Q, Malcolm Stone, Windy Gale, the lovely Gina, Adam Smith, who's the chair of the supporters club. Well, I think we did have John Wills. He's there.
He's still there.
He's looking like a poor man's Mike Gattin today, actually. You're looking a bit Mike Gattin today, John.
I'll take that.
And obviously we've got...
Here, Leon has nicked your shirt.
Yeah. See, Leon, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
What's that?
This was the glory day, the glory days of Icklesham.
Oh, yeah, I just noticed that.
Right.
Bloody hell.
A little bit bigger
It looks like a living cigarette card.
All right.
One for all our older listeners.
Yes. But a little bit more important than that, we've also got the excellent James Hull here, scorer of goals, ridiculous amounts for the under-23s. Under-23s, what was that final like, James? I mean, obviously, we spoke to you just before you got there.
Yeah.
But from the highlights that I saw, and I know, obviously, I think Andy and who else was there? Because there was a few that went to...
I think Gina did.
Yeah, Gina was there as well.
I went.
Oh, did you? I asked if you went as well. Oh, because you were tweeting, weren't you?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Man, a few words. Just tell us, because it looked a cracking game. I mean, we were all over them, and obviously you scored literally a perfect 4 goals, left, right foot, wasn't it? Header.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of went into the game knowing that we were going to win, because we were saying that the semi-final we had before was definitely going to be our cup final. They were the hardest team we're going to face. But we still had to be on it. I think that's probably one of the best performances I've seen from a 23 side in a long time. We were on the ball. We kept the ball really well. Our movement was decent, and the other team just couldn't live with us. They just weren't anywhere near our level. So yeah, it was a good game. It was a good win.
Well, I mean, I can only talk from the highlights I watched. It did look ridiculously one-sided. And I know the people that went, you obviously commented at the time, didn't you guys, that it was just almost a complete performance. Would you agree, guys? I mean,
it was the first half particularly was fantastic. Well, the speed of thought and speed of movement and the way the ball was whizzing around, it was everyone seemed really on it, and they were just absolutely, it's like going around cones. It really was that brisk. And as I said at the time, it was just fantastic seeing a team make such incredibly good use of a 3G pitch. The pace actually played into your team's hands. It felt like that, James?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the pace of the pitch actually seemed to suit them, and the ball pinged around, and it was it was a pleasure to make the effort to be there. Actually, it was really enjoyable. Yeah, the only time they caught up with you was when you got a real clattering, didn't you, down to the touchline?
Oh God, yeah, that was fun. I remember that. I think I've still got the mark from that.
Yeah, not surprised. That was a real belt. That, but I was amazed you got up from it. But that, yeah, it was great. It was, it was complete. Really enjoyable.
Yeah. Have you, James? Have you spent your winnings yet? You know, your cup final winnings. You obviously got a winning bonus. Have you spent it yet?
I think we spent it on the drinks on the way back, probably. No. It was good. This team we deserve at least a trophy, finally, because we've been knocked out of that competition, and obviously we haven't won our league because of COVID. So it was good to get a trophy under our belt, and hopefully we win the double. We've only got to win 2 more games, and we've won the league. So
yeah. That's obviously the under-23s you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
You took that into the first team now. You got your first league goal last week. I mean, what was that feeling like? It looked like you didn't know where to go run to. I mean, I know Smith said that.
when I saw it hit the net, I was looking around. I didn't know. I was like, oh my God, that's actually gone in. I've actually scored it. And I didn't really know where to go. But obviously, I had to come over to the fans. And it felt good. It felt really good. Yeah.
Oh, nice. No, well, it's obviously a great moment. You deserve it. You're a banker for the subs bench now, which is, you know, did you expect things to move so quickly?
Not really. I was a bit, at the start of the season, I was just a bit, well, I'll be happy if I get, 20 minutes here and there, maybe come on sometimes. Like I was more looking forward to next season and just seeing this season through. But obviously Gary's given me a few opportunities, which I'm really grateful for. And obviously he says what he says to me and John MEENEY as well. They have a lot of trust in me and stuff, so it's good to hear. And I'm in a good place right now, and I'm really loving it at the minute. So just gonna keep going.
It definitely looks like you are from obviously a fan's perspective. And funnily enough, I was chatting with John MEENEY, I think it was yesterday, and he was bigging you up. So that's you're a shoe in for the team now. You've got them all buttered up, mate. Right. So moving on to yet another great win, making up for putting to bed that nightmare that we had at Corinthians away, which I still have bad dreams about. An almost perfect performance, particularly that first half, was unbelievably good. I mean, it was. I thought we were really treated to a great game from our boys. I mean, who wants to start on the Corinthian game?
The first half was probably, there was half an hour. That was probably as good a football as I've seen all year, I must admit. It was so many of the players seem to be playing their best game. And they've sort of dug their way out of things this past 6 weeks, haven't they? But suddenly it's all flowing. I mean, everything was so neat. Sam Adams in midfield was just on everything, and Jack Dixon was super neat with the way he was playing, and the ball was moving around nice and quickly again and decisively. It's interesting how it really came to light on Saturday how they're moving the ball quicker, how you're moving the ball quicker, James. Not quite so much holding of the ball at the back, even though Louis kicking. Even though he's kicking more, he's sort of long passing rather than kicking, and it was just everybody was snappy, and obviously good start for Mr. Parrish as well. He looked lively. Norrie Scott was absolutely untouchable.
Yeah, he was.
His little video that he sent out.
I think it was debatable whether he should have got man of the match. It's only because he didn't. Score. It's because he didn't score. It's simple as that.
No, I mean Ben scored the goals, didn't he? But the close down and chase and then playing the ball in for Ben's first goal was absolutely just exemplary. Just showed, because even when he hadn't been playing well, he had the work rate, didn't he? And that was suddenly the work rate and everything came together, and he was just untouchable. And it was great. We had a little period after half time, didn't we, where everybody took their foot off it a little bit but never looked uncomfortable. Never looked uncomfortable.
I thought Ollie Black played really well, considering he'd been out for a bit as well.
I thought he had one of his best games.
Yeah.
Actually. He looked more mobile. I can't really explain it, but he was, and also his passing was better.
Yeah.
He just looked so cool. And you know, I've never been I was always agnostic about the long throws, but the long throws, the trajectory on Saturday was absolutely ludicrous, wasn't it?
He was keeping it flat up.
Yeah.
Really tossing it up.
Almost had 2 own goals off it.
Yeah.
They were shinning it into the crowd, everything. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, the long throws, now that Dane seems to spend half the game wiping balls.
Yeah. Pardon?
There he goes. With his, Dane and his clean ball bag that he's got down there in the dugout. It's absolutely fantastic. And I was all I say finally, why did they bother standing a man in front of him?
I don't know.
They took a man out the game that was having no impact on anything.
It's just ridiculous.
It was just really not nonsense. It was, it was like Subbuteo.
They didn't even put the biggest man in front of him. It was the shortest.
Some hapless guy just had to stand there and have the ball thrown over him.
As if Ollie was going to drop the ball right at his feet.
Yeah, I know. I suppose he could have thrown one right in his mush just for a laugh, I suppose. That would have been quite funny. But they were quite hapless. And the left back's free kick that he shinned.
Oh, just we main stand was in trouble.
Oh, that was absolutely a thing of beauty.
Yeah. Anyone else? Obviously, Ben Pope managed to get a hat trick. Just if anyone didn't know, but he played quite well. What? Anyone else want to speak? Leon, come on, speak up.
Going into the game, I sort of had it in the back of my head that they're looking at their record. They don't let in that many goals. Defensively, they look quite like their record is quite. They've got a good defensive record, but they don't score many goals at all. So at the back of my head, I naturally don't sort of get too carried away. But I mean, after that first half performance, there's nothing really to worry about. There was a moment, I think, after kickoff, they sort of attacked a bit, and I thought, they're number 10, so a massive unit up top. Yeah, loads of strength in the end. He had good touch on him. I thought, he's going to be, he's going to be dangerous. And then after that, it was all Hastings. I didn't really notice him afterwards.
That the second goal we got, that was a brilliant move. There was a gang of little lads sitting behind me up in the main stand. There was about 5 or 6 of them. One of them was, great goal. That's the best goal you've ever got, whoever you are.
Oh, well. They're the fans of the future, John.
They are. And I was just
joining the main stand faithful.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh dear.
Gina?
I didn't get to see the first half because I was stuck in the turnstile.
What, literally?
Because I have to stay in until the first half is over when I'm in there. So,
that's annoying.
It was a good game. I enjoyed what I watched, what I got to see, should I say? Yeah. And I'm actually quite looking forward to Saturday.
Well, we do. I mean, should we go on to that segue immediately? Have we got guarantees that Histed will be in a dress?
Well, I'm taking the skirt ready.
Skirt. James, do you know about this? James, Gary's going to be in a dress, bra, full makeup.
Oh my God, no, I didn't know.
I think there might be another trial next week.
But apparently, only if they're winning. But I'm going to try and persuade him to do it either way.
Oh, it's only if we're winning. He's putting these.
That sounds dodgy.
Come on, he's putting these little. He's moving the goalposts.
But we're going to win. So it doesn't matter. We're going to win.
Yeah, but
Gina, do you get to choose a dress?
I don't actually own any dresses that will fit in. It has to be a skirt.
But he's got a fair few, no doubt.
Probably.
No, Chris has chosen the dress. It's been his fantasy from the start of the season. It's now all coming together.
Oh, you're giving away my secrets now.
Ever since he saw Ginger Spice in that Union Jack dress all those years ago, we'd give it a go.
But I'd rather see him in a dress than the mankini.
That's a debate, I think. Yeah. Definitely.
In fact, Chris, if he went as Nurse Gladys Emmanuel, your life would be complete. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He should, oh no, I don't. Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. I'm lost for words. What? Anyone want to talk about the football though? Smithy, talk about the game, mate. The 3-0 game.
Nori Scott, outstanding. Yeah. Now, I do think we got to shout out Nori Scott for that game. It's been coming, his performance. And so, speaking to Gary Elphick after a few games, I think he really knows how to get the best out of Nori, as he does with all of the players. But yeah, he seems to have worked his magic. Something that I don't, no disrespect to Aggie, I don't think he ever got the best out of Nori, but Gary, yeah, he knows how to play him, and it's working.
In some ways, he reminded me of remember, like when Daniel Ajakai was on form, in that way that defensively, I thought Nori was fantastic. He was a really aggressive, and in attack, I thought the same. I just thought he was just on it, well up for it, which was, well, it's great to see. Do you
think part of it's because he's got Tom playing right beside him, Tom's playing out of his skin as well?
Yeah, I think I make right. Him and TC have hit it off now, haven't they?
Yeah.
They both come into form at the same time and understand each other, and it's all working with them too.
Yeah,
it's great to watch.
Nori seems to be more alert, doesn't he? He seems to know where the other players are now, where he's start of the season he's a bit headless chicken, but now he's looking up and telling.
Tom takes players out the game as well, because he can just with he can move 10 yards and take 2 players out the game, which just gives them such a problem. They can't double up on anybody.
It's so fast.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to pass the ball to take players out the game. His movement, he can carry the ball past 2 players, and then suddenly we're in. And then when you got Nori playing like that as well, there's too many people to mark.
Yeah,
you just can't pull people out of position. It really shows.
In moving back to right backs, he's been a different level ever since then. Like, I think sometimes if you play on the wing, you can sort of get crowded out a little bit, and he gets that little bit more room at fullback to just pile on. And even when he does now get crowded out, he just seems to, I don't know, he just has the confidence now. He just, 1 touch, 2 touch, he's gone, he's beat his man, plays the ball in.
He does.
I think John would probably bear me out here. He was sitting in the main stand as well. But I actually felt quite sorry for their left fullback.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been, much more than a teenager anyway.
No,
his face every time Nori got the ball, he's like thinking, I've got you. And then all of a sudden, TC would go running past him. And he'd and the ball would go, and he'd look round and he'd say, what have I got to do? Why did I come here today? It was quite funny just to watch his face.
Yeah, they didn't seem to give that left back much support, did they? He was out there on his own, almost having 2 to mark. And
he was only a young lad, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was,
Well, it was a team of hair buns as well, wasn't it? I mean, you had the 2 centre-halves were man buns, weren't they? Remember the diver, the one that liked to be on the
ball?
Yeah.
They're number 5.
Shame
it didn't take us long to remember him, did it?
Yeah, I thought that with the...
Talking of hair buns.
Yeah, I'm working on it. With the sort of player Nori is, it's all about confidence, isn't it, really? Yeah. And you can see that's what's come through in the last couple of games, because if he's got it in his mind that he's just going to walk past people, that's what he's doing. But earlier in the season, he just didn't quite have it, did he? He was trying hard, but things weren't working. So that's been good to see. I thought in the first half, I said to George, is this one of the worst teams we've had here? But then as the game goes on, you think it's actually not about the other team being bad. We made them look really bad.
Definitely.
And it was just such a good performance all the way through the side, wasn't it? It was difficult of course, Ben quite deservedly got the man of the match, scoring 3 goals, and we know it's that's not just his game. He works so hard for the team, doesn't he? Getting the tackles in, setting up other people. But then you look through the team and you could have picked a number of others, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's just a good, solid team performance.
I think the first half was the best I've seen them play this season by far. And I was actually disappointed with the second half. I understood it because at 2-0 at half time, you come out, see how the game pans out, and that type of thing. That's all it was that they weren't under any pressure, and just see how it pans out, and then always had another gear to go up. But as a fan, after seeing the first half, you're actually disappointed that happens for a little while, and you think, oh no, why are we doing this? You know, it's I know, because I actually sat there and thought, I was a little bit nervous, I must admit, on how we played them away, and the last few weeks, really, I think a lot of the players have had a little bit of a dip in form, and so I was a little bit nervous. It could have been the wrong scoreline, but not say after the first half. At half time, I thought, wow, that's the best I've seen them play this year by far. Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and then was disappointed for about 25 minutes, thinking, why have you just sort of let the game flow and, you know, see how it panned out? But they upped it again a little bit and, you know, sort of finished the game back on top and on form.
Yeah. I didn't feel that Corinthians were going to score, though. It didn't feel like that.
No, the only clear chance they had was in the 90-odd minute with that free header, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
But,
even when they created chances, they just, there was no... didn't look as though they were going to finish them at all. Even though
there was nothing.
That header was a good example. We should ask James, what does Gary say to you, James, and how does it feel coming on when the game's a bit dead like that?
It's always difficult coming onto a game like that when you're taking your foot off the gas, when you're up against it a bit, when they're attacking a lot and you're suddenly defending a bit. You just got to keep the ball, but you know, he just says, "Go on, do a job, do what you do." You know, it's not like he doesn't need to do like a massive speech. He's got that capability. He just always gets someone up for a game, and that's why I think, like you said, he's got the best out of Knory, because Knory for the 23s was just he was just running the show. Like, he's running it, and now he's finally brought it to the first team. And he's finally started doing his own bit. He started taking people on, showing what he can do skill-wise and assisting people. And it's good to see, really, because it was hard to see him at the start of the season when he wasn't really getting much. So, yeah, it was decent.
Yeah. James, did you come on for Knory?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he looked disappointed to come off, didn't he? But he had no more to give, did he? He just was absolutely shattered.
I think he just wants that goal. I think that's what.
Yeah, I think that's what he was. But he didn't want to come off, but he had no more in the tank there.
No, probably not. No, probably not. But yeah, when he gets that goal, I'm sure he'll go for it. He'll be even more flying than he already is.
One thing I want to mention, James, particularly some of your subs appearances when you've been coming on with Kenny, like you're saying about how fired up. Like particularly you and Kenny, whenever you've come on, like, and you've been the reason why. I mean, I remember there was a late goal we got against. Someone's going to remind me, away game where we got a last goal in the last minute. Sitting ball was it? Yeah. And that was down to you and Kenny. You know,
that was interesting. Yeah, sorry, we did at the time, James. It's interesting to see what you think about that, because we said at the time that substitution at half time at Sittingbourne saved our bacon that day. That yours and Ken's movement and play up front dragged us through that game. Did you enjoy that half?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy every bit of football I can get in a minute. But no, as soon as TC scored that goal, it was a good thing. It was almost like I scored the goal.
You seem to have quite a good understanding with Kenny when he does come on, though. You got like it's almost like telepathic. There's a little bit going on.
Yeah, me and Ken are like we always like ping a ball with each other at training. was messing around and stuff.
Oh, I can see in the future Ken being a coach. He stands at the side and he's giving it to some all the time, isn't he? Even when he's sub.
Oh god, yeah, 100%.
All the time. He can't exactly sit. He can't exactly get in the box, can he? He's a bit too big for that. But no, it's good to see.
No, it's good. It's good. Any more thoughts on the win? Anyone?
We briefly mentioned Paris. It's the first time I've seen him, and I thought he did well. He's looking good, and I think he's just going to get stronger and stronger as well with understanding how, especially with Ben, and the amount of balls that Ben was winning in the air as well. I know we've sort of briefly touched on it, but he was just winning everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of if they get close together and build that understanding, he won a lot of flick-ons, didn't he?
And I think if Paris can read those, which he will in time, that's going to open it up for him as well. So
that's interesting. That struck me again as something a little bit new. I mean, again, it just struck me as a little bit another angle to our game, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we still got, I mean, it's good to see Dave Martin come on, but I didn't see the other guy. He didn't come on, did he, Diallo?
But actually, speaking about Ben quickly, what was really lovely to see was obviously his missus was there with his baby. And when he got that hat trick and she was like, she had the baby in the air and baby was smiling, baby wasn't screaming, baby was smiling, happy. Ben was happy. It was a very sweet moment, I thought.
It wasn't a Michael Jackson moment then. So.
No, she didn't just that. Yeah. Well, she lobbed the baby in the air, and one of us had to dive and catch it. But no, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all.
And James, you didn't try to get the ball off him for the penalty at the end, then?
No. I didn't even bother this time. No chance. I've got to wait until he's off the pitch before I can take it.
It does look that way.
Yeah, he doesn't miss. So until he misses, then I might bag the question, but no.
Great game. Some great scenes after the game as well. In the bar afterwards. A big shout to Matt, who isn't on. Obviously, this not Matt the drummer. The other Matt, who got me home that night. Just all I'm going to say.
Just quickly,
that
Chris.
was worse for wear, but yeah, go on.
Has anyone seen Craig's Instagram? He's put on there, sent a number 5 for a hot dog. I think it was when they got the penalty appeal, and he's got the 3 steals there. I've been turning him one way, turning him the other, and then he's put sent for a hot dog.
Oh no! No, I don't do the Instagram. Oh bloody hell!
Yeah,
that's
got
good
the number
stuff.
5, which was. I don't normally blow his trumpet, but it was only because it was a number 5 that gave us so much grief away. So, he deserved it.
Well, a little bit of karma there, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Actually, James, was there any talk within the dressing room about? I mean, obviously Craig, but like the talk about the way Corinthians behaved the last match, that there was going to be some receipts paid off.
I think I did hear Popey talking about it.
Oh, okay, I can imagine it. Yeah.
Nah, really? Surely not.
With the hairband geezer, one of them anyway, because there's 2 in there. So
it was ridiculous. He was trying to get Popey sent off at the away game as well.
Yeah, I did hear him talking about it, but no. Other than that, I didn't hear much really. Everyone was too focused on the game.
Yeah,
that's good.
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll look forward to Cray. Obviously, there's one highlight, which is the possible Histed in hot pants. We'll put that to the side. Talk about something even more important than that, which is the road to promotion. Another game that we need to win. Anyone want to? I mean, I'll take it. Most of us will be going.
Are you going, Chris?
Oh yeah, I'm going. Thank you. Yes, yeah. I wasn't going to start that conversation then a bit. Oh yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yes, currently I'm going. All right,
yes, we're hoping to go.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going on the coach.
Yep, you're going to make sure that Histed's there.
Yep, we're all going to be on the coach already.
The party bus.
Magic bus.
When we went to VCD, I was on the bus. Who was playing music? It wasn't
Lucy.
you, was it? Oh, okay,
No.
right. No, just shit music, basically. it was JLS, Ed Sheeran.
Ooh.
You know, at least mix it up a bit. Put some
Block
some
party.
90s, block
You
party or
always
some 90s rave or something. Just
Leon, we always say if you've got a request, shout it up and we'll play it.
I'm too quiet. I didn't really, I was sort of by myself. Didn't know you guys too well, so
Well, for next time.
yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll get Larry and
Yeah, you'd be Kajagoogoo or something you put on. Anyway, no, sorry. That's for the oldies here.
All right, Grandad.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was quite handy Cray losing last week, wasn't it?
Incredible. Yeah.
Ashford is still winning at the moment tonight. 2-0 still.
East Grinstead.
Yeah.
Well, as expected anyway.
Yeah.
I think surely it just has to be a case of, we're now down to the classic cliche of just do what we have to do and no one can catch us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah. James, is Dan playing tonight?
He is, yeah, he is playing.
He's on the bench.
What do you reckon the feel is with the Ashford lot? Are they still making the go of it? Because they're on a good run of form, aren't they? Do you think if we slip up, they feel they've got a chance of catching us, or do you think they're resigned to playoffs?
I mean, when I speak with Dan about it, he always just comes to me and be like, "Oh, why can't you just lose? Like, can you just lose?" So I think he still thinks he's got a little bit of a chance, but no, I think we just got to see it through now. Get the job done.
You just got to you got Nicky's boots, mate, and you know what you need to swap them with, don't you?
I'll beat them in the corner. They're over there somewhere. I'm not.
They're in the dock.
They are talking. Well, we'll move on to that in a minute. But any more thoughts on Cray?
I wonder how many we'll take. I wonder how many people will go. What's it, about an hour and a half drive, is it, or something like that? But we've got one coach at the moment, haven't we, going?
Yeah, there's one coach, and there's always seats if anyone's interested. So.
Yeah, I think they're standing up all the way.
What their average attendance is? That's
Like
100 and it's not even 200, is it?
No, 120.
Yeah, pants. So I watched their highlights against Three Bridges. Like literally, it's four guys behind the goal.
129. According to Phil, it's 129 is their average gate.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Must be hard to play to that standard in front of a crowd like that.
What's that like, James, for Dan? Because obviously Ashford don't get many compared to us. What does he say about it? Does he ever speak about that?
I mean, I don't think it really affects him, to be honest. Like, he obviously when he comes to play, when he played at the pilot field this year, obviously he was like, "Oh my god, that's a big difference." He was saying to me when you guys were giving him stick when you were singing all these songs about
that you're a better player than he is. That's what we were saying. That's all, yeah.
He was saying he couldn't hear it because I pulled him up on it after. I was like, "Do you like the songs they were singing then, mate?" And then he was like, "What songs are you talking about?" And he genuinely couldn't hear it.
He knew.
So,
He must have heard it when you scored that penalty.
He definitely heard that. No, but yeah, I don't know if it affects him or not, but no, it's weird. It's weird how so little other teams have, but we've just got massive support, which is amazing. Yeah, it does help us out a lot.
If Every says he had a good game, James, you can say to him, "Well, no one saw it, so did it actually happen?"
Exactly that. That's true. That's very true.
Get in his head.
Whenever I play in front of a bit of a crowd, which is at my level about 20 people, yeah. when I've had like the odd cup final or whatever, I think I've got a bit of a crowd here. I've got I end up playing a bit better because I just don't want people to watch me and think, "Oh, see that guy there, he's shit." I don't want to be that guy that everyone thinks, "Oh, look at him, what a mug." They're playing in front of a crowd, which is 20 plus for me, makes me actually play that a bit better. But
Leon's a big time performer.
yeah.
Having played against Leon and seen him play, I don't think many people say that, mate.
No.
Oh, come on, Windy.
No.
It was there. The opening was there.
We're wiping away a tear.
Yeah.
Right then. We've got to move on to the trial, so I've got to get my garb on. Right. By the way, Chief Prosecutor Leon, have you got your opening speech ready?
Yeah, I can cobble something together. Yeah.
All right, let me just get my gear on.
Oh God, it's not Mankini, is it?
Oh.
It's getting the skirt.
No, it's not a Mankini.
Whilst we're doing this interlude, John, we've been looking at mocking up. So we've been mocking up some T-shirts for the main stand.
We mean,
can you see this?
I can't see it.
It's only do I need to talk so you can see it?
That's
it's an early prototype.
Oh God, there's me. I'm in the top left.
Can you see it? Oh dear.
It's the sort of thing Del Boy would say.
Maybe I'll have to tweet out. We'll tweet out a picture or something.
Brilliant.
Very good.
John, what year is your shirt from? I'm trying to make out who made it. It's not like a.
Who made it?
Yeah, I can't see it's back to front at my end.
Primo.
No, it's not back to front. No, I'm just
Primark. It was
Primark. Wow, it looks like my old rugby shirt from Parker.
Yeah. Is it your shirt at the moment? Is it the same sort of design or not?
Yeah, still green and white.
I do actually remember those shirts looking like rugby shirts, though. When I used to play against Icklesham, they were like that, really thick. I don't know how you played.
Yeah, even recently, actually. We've had to wear some old shirts. And what the fuck is this?
Right, order in court. Order in court.
Fantastic.
You know what? I'm not. No, we're not going to have a go at James now. This is
mate.
We've all made friends. You sort of missed the boat, Chris.
Yeah, we've all made up.
It's a bit like Partygate. It's it's all old news now.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right. So anyway,
you look like Charles Hawtrey.
Right. Sorry. So, well, just so we say, this is the trial. So, while this trial is taking place, it's the plaintiff, which turned out to be it's a class action lawsuit, as the whole of the clubhouse reported the heinous crime of crimes against fashion, crimes against humanity, which is Scotland. Is a hate crime, as is everything else, but that's not. We won't go there. Right. So specifically, there was white Crocs. I didn't see this. This is what's been told to me by obviously the Chief Prosecutor Leon. This has been brought against the breakout striker that is James Hull. First of all, James, how do you plead?
Not guilty. I don't know what to talk about. I haven't got Crocs. I don't know what to talk about.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we've got Chief Prosecutor Leon has provided me with some information provided that might go against that. But yeah. So obviously we got Prosecutor Leon. He's never lost the case. Have you, Leon?
No, that's because I never had a case. So.
We never told me that, right? So
no,
it's a file.
Okay. So your judge today is Chief Justice Laverick. I mean, you could call me Chief Justice or your Lord. Yeah, that's my pronouns. They're my preferred pronouns. Obviously, the prosecutor has the opportunity to get across its statement. Firstly, please give your statement, Sir Leon of Loxley.
Well, you lady. What we have here is a case of a young man that has hit success at a young age and has let it go to his head. Unfortunately, what was a nice young man thinks he can walks around, give it the big bollocks, as we saw with Justin Bieber. Remember Justin Bieber, that sweet young Canadian pop singer with the pristine hair? And then within about a month or two, he just turned into a bit of a douchebag, didn't he? All went about wearing God knows what. And as we saw in the clubhouse at that time, young James Brian Hull turns up in those white things. I mean, if you think of your fashion faux pas you can make, you got what? Double denim, sandals with socks, ankle swingers.
Boot cut jeans.
Yeah, well, yeah, boot cut jeans. I mean, you can add super skinny jeans to that now, isn't it? That's so 2005. What
about Frostwash? Frostwash? Do we remember that one?
Oh yeah, yes, that as well. Yeah, and ill-fitting toupees, which I hope John Wills isn't going down that route with his hair. But, the evidence against this young man is damning. Unfortunately, his plea of not guilty is just baffling.
So you have got some witnesses. First of all, we have a certain gentleman.
Hello, this is Peter Heritage. Just going to ask James a question, like I've asked him before. The rumour is in the Hull household that his brother is a better player than him, and he will never score against his elder brother who plays for Ashford. And the bet is that whoever wins gets the bottom bunk, the top bunk, and the loser gets the bottom bunk. But in defence of James, what a goal on Saturday. Well played, mate. Keep up the good work. I'm teaching you everything I know. Catch you soon.
Well, it wasn't much of a prosecution witness there. That wasn't much of a prosecution witness, was it?
More of a defence there.
Is he teaching you how to drink?
I can never catch up with Pete.
No, I don't think any of us can.
No.
Well, this hasn't started off too well. So let's see if this one's any better. Leon.
Chris, in James Hull's defence, there was a caution wet slippery sign next to him, and I did see a mop in his hand. So I'm not sure if that was maybe the reason why the white Crocs were pulled out.
Oh, Gary Elphick's defending him now. I mean, Jesus, right, coming. Leon, you need to... Well, let's see what else we can pull out here. Hang on.
I'm absolutely shocked
Pat's going to be
and appalled to hear that James Hull, I can't even say this, I'm so upset. James Hull was caught wearing socks with Crocs. This has single-handedly undone all of the hard work on our image that we have put in so painstakingly over the last 7 years. You can't dress like a character from Sesame Street and wear the club badge. The young man needs to have a really, really long chat with himself and give his head a wobble.
Wow. That was a better witness. That was a better witness.
That's hit hard, that.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we got here. Let's see. We might know this gentleman.
People looking for an equaliser.
Obviously disappointing to see a young, promising player in court this early in his footballing career. This is a player who's cemented himself as the best footballer in his family, started scoring goals, and yeah, I mean, this could be career-ending for him. So the big question is, will he repent?
That was George with the drum. Will you repent is what George is asking, really.
It's going to be hard to come back from this. It really is. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to throw them in the bin. Really am.
Well, I think that's somewhat of a decision, isn't it, Leon?
Put it this way: if I was sat in a bus and a dear old 90-year-old woman come hobbling on with about 20 coats on, and there was no seats left, she looks at me. I looks down and she's wearing Crocs. I'd say, no, I'd jog on.
and actually, you know, I tried to get your defence lawyer. Now, obviously, one of your defence lawyers, Adam Carter, I don't even know if you knew he was your defence lawyer, but he's got COVID now. And that's what he's saying. Okay. we're not sure yet if that's true. But also I asked Nori, and Nori never got back to me. I did beg him to come on in your defence, because I heard that he defends the Croc situation.
Yeah, he wears Crocs. Nori loves a Croc, so yeah, I've definitely got him on my side.
Are they white?
They're not white, no.
Oh, it's okay then.
It's funny though, you say that, James. You were looking to him on the day for support, and he just totally blanked you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he wasn't having any of it. He's a bit shy around Charles.
So what happened to sliders then, James? Did you just completely skip them and plough your own furrow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to start something new, but obviously it just doesn't really end very well.
Yeah, it's looking like a bit of a fashion cul-de-sac, mate. It has to be said.
And look where you are now. You've got a bunch of 30-year-old plus guys, plus Gina, all basically bullying you.
There is a certain irony, because it's not exactly Paris Fashion Week amongst us lot, is it? Really?
Not with that shirt on, no.
The centre court there with that Je suis main stand. What we're going to do...
Available soon at a retailer near you.
Absolutely. Dicko's tackle shirt, that's the next one getting made up.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, got to get a bit of Dicko's. Well, John likes a bit of Dicko's tackle anyway. James, what we're going to do is we're going to put this out there to the ether. So we'll put this out, what sort of sentencing needs to happen. We'll put it out to all the listeners. Let's see what they should suggest.
Yeah, okay.
What the next move is. We'll put that out to the people. But listen, you've been a good sport. Thanks ever so much for coming on.
No worries, thought it was good fun.
One last bit about Adam Carter. You mentioned he's got COVID. I saw a picture of him today. He did look pretty dreadful. So if you're listening, Adam, hope you get well soon, mate.
Get well soon.
Get well soon.
Get well soon, Adam.
Yep, the commentary will be essential this weekend for a lot of people.
I'm glad he was in a glass box on Saturday. I know that.
James, after Chichester, I'm really sorry, but I'd been drinking from about like 9:30. I saw you in the clubhouse afterwards, and considering you just scored like your first league goal, you've been playing really well. I think the first thing I did, I saw you look down on your feet and just blurted something out in my drunken state about Crocs. So any decent fan would have said like, well done, mate. You've been playing well, and yeah. In my defence, I was on the beers.
He knows.
Well done.
He knows you think that, mate.
Thank you.
We all love you, James, mate. We all love you. Don't you worry. And any of the ones that were shouting at you were a virgin and all that because of the Crocs. But I wasn't singing that one. Just so you know, I wasn't singing that one.
Thank you.
I might have joined in. I don't know, but yeah, you're a good sport.
Thanks, no problem at all. I'm looking at my Crocs now, and I'm just like, oh.
I said you threw them out.
I'm allowed to wear them for one more game at least.
They could be your lucky Crocs.
Could be your lucky Crocs.
Yeah.
No, listen, James. Thank you, Windy, Leon, Smithy, Gina, John, Malcolm, and obviously Wills, and particularly James Hull. Thank you so much for coming on, and see you at the game. See you at Cray and Smash Cray.
Yep.
Yeah. See you
guys. That's it for another week, news fans. Wasn't it great putting that Corinthian away day nightmare behind us? 3-0 and the Pope got a hat-trick. What's not to love? Let's get as many down to Cray as we can. It's going to be a truly super Saturday. As ever, if you want to get in contact with the show or have any suggestions or want to get in on our weekly roundtables, that email again is hufcpod@gmail.com or on the Twitter, which is @HUFC Podcast. You can get this podcast on all major platforms, be it Google Podcasts, Audible, iTunes, Spotify or Amazon Music. And we have a jam-packed YouTube channel, chock-a-block, full of video interviews and episodes from the podcast. Please, please, please give it a look, a comment or a like, but definitely subscribe. It's all free. All that's left for me to say is, I've been your host, Chris Laverick. Hope you have a good week and see you at the game.